guys, today I'm going to do a quick review of the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze Gel, which is the liquid version of the original Brow Freeze that we know. This was sent to me without obligation to post, but obviously I wanted to do a review of it, so this is how it arrived. So as you can see, it comes in a lovely muted pink tube, and the writing has a lovely rose gold finish, which is a nice touch. It's not a comb that we've not seen before from other brands, so one side is short, the other side has long bristles, and then there's a flat side which you can use to lay down the hair. In a comparison, you can see that the original brow gel is on the left. The texture of this is actually referred to as a wax, but it's not a traditional wax as we know wax to be. I would still refer to this as a gel, but like a thick gel. As we know, it has gone viral over the years. It has fantastic staying power. Upon opening the new brow gel, you can see the viscosity is completely different. This one is much more fluid. Having the comb makes it much more convenient to use as well. So let's just hope it's going to have the same staying power. This is my first time using it. I've not tried it before filming, so this is a first impressions. I'm going to use the long side of the bristles first because this is to separate all the hairs and to really coat the product into the hairs. I'm going to recreate my fluffy brow tutorial using this product so I can compare it to the original Brow Freeze. So I'm always going to start by combing the hairs the opposite way to coat the back side of the hair so that when we comb it upwards it will lay flat against the skin. So I've turned the comb over this time to use the small bristles because these have been designed to shape and sculpt the hairs. Now it does say it has a quick drying formula and that it should set without feeling stiff or crunchy. Now it definitely dries very quickly. Now maybe it works best if you apply one coat, press it down and leave it. I'm obviously just trying to comb the hairs in place to see if I can get the same sort of laminated finish that the original brow gel was designed to create. But as you can see, it has left a tiny white film to the hairs. Now that does disappear a little bit once you flatten it with your fingers. I didn't want to use the side of the brush when I'm doing this brow because I hadn't wiped off the excess product and I didn't want to apply a ton more to the hairs. So I'm using my finger to press the hairs down against the skin. It almost dries instantly, so it definitely doesn't have a tacky feel. It doesn't look flaky, but you can see again there is that white texture to the hair. But then we are super close up to the brows. From a distance, I don't think this would be noticeable. I am going to fill them in using my Urban Decay brow blade just to see how this works over the top of the gel. I will link my fluffy brow tutorial on screen for you now if you want the talk through on how I fill in my brow. I mean, it's pretty obvious, you can see I'm just doing some light flicking motions, but I do talk more in depth about this in those tutorials. Instead, right now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the brow gel. I've used this brow gel again today with my regular brow routine, that is to say not creating a laminated effect, just filling them in for a very natural finish and then one light coat of this brow gel over the top like I would with my Benefit Cosmetics 24-hour brow gel, which has always been my favourite. I did remove all the excess product from the brush, so I only had a very light layer of the gel and it didn't leave a white film or any texture. It worked perfectly and it really did hold them in place, and it has done all day. So overall, I think so far this is a really good one if you're looking to recreate the laminated brow, because as you can see it really does hold them up in place, as well as if you want something that's very natural to your brow and you only want a quick lick over the top to hold those hairs in place. I could actually see this overtaking the original brow gel just because this is convenient in a tube, it comes with the comb, there's less faff with this. And in my opinion, you're still achieving the same result. You can watch this tutorial and my previous one and you'll see that I'm achieving exactly the same result with less effort. So a note from Anastasia, the CEO and founder of Anastasia Beverly Hills, has said, "I created Brow Freeze Gel to offer our customers more options and make doing your eyebrows easier and faster." And I definitely think that she's achieved that with this product. It's definitely been designed for all skill levels, especially beginners, because if you're new to filling in your eyebrows and you want that very natural finish, you can achieve that using this over your brows once you filled them in for a very light natural finish. But then you can also up your skill level to create more of a laminated fluffy brow, which has been on trend for the last year. The one element of this product that I'm not so much a fan of is the glycerin that's been added to it to give a hydrated effect, which in my opinion gives a slightly shiny finish, which I'm not a fan of. But that's just my opinion. I don't like the idea of a shiny eyebrow, but if you do, then you might like the glycerin element. It's just not my favourite. It wouldn't put me off using the product at all, but it's just something that I would have probably not necessarily added myself just because I don't like the look of it. Does say that it gives a fuller looking effect with biotin. We know biotin is great for hair growth and has obviously been designed to pair well with her other brow products such as the Brow Wiz, Brow Definer, Dip Brow Pomade, etc. But as you can see, it works perfectly well with any brow product. I particularly love my Urban Decay Brow Blade. I use it every single day. I rarely go for a laminated fluffy brow, but I know it's very popular and I wanted to try it with this particular product because Brow Freeze was designed to create that fluffy brow. So moving on to my other eyebrow, I have done the tail of the brows slightly different just to show you guys that you can create a slightly wider tail using left to right motions, and on this particular brow I'll fit it in how I usually would, which is to draw it downwards slightly so that the tail is a little bit thinner and doesn't look quite as fluffy. But I just wanted to show you that you can achieve different types of fluffiness and shapes just changing the direction of your pen. This time around I used a little bit less of the gel. I scraped a little bit off of the bristles and I found that it definitely gave a little bit less of a white finish to the hairs, as you can see. So less is more, and as I mentioned at the beginning of this tutorial, this is the first time I'm using this, so it is a first impressions. I am learning as you guys are watching. So here's where I'm changing the direction of my pen slightly to come down against the hairs. If you want a more fluffy brow, you can go with the direction of the hair and go left to right or up and down, as you can see the direction of the hair, to make it more fluffy. Here I'm going against the hair slightly. This way I'm creating a thinner shape and it fills in that area without looking too hairy. Instead it puts a soft shadow in between the hairs, so it darkens it, but it doesn't look any more textured or hairy. So that's how I fill in my brows for a fluffy laminated look, this time using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze Gel. Again, I've created a slightly fuller tail on the left eyebrow as you're looking at the screen and a slightly thinner tail on the right side. I think this new product is brilliant. It definitely has the extreme hold that it states that it has. I don't think that I'm in agreement that it doesn't feel stiff or crunchy because it has held those hairs in place and they can't stay there without being thick, crunchy or stiff. But it's definitely not tacky. It definitely dries down super quick. I am a fan of this product. I think it's great. I do think it will overtake the original just for the convenience. I believe it launches on the 3rd of January on Anastasia Beverly Hills website and then into Sephora on the 4th of January. Let me know what you thought of the product. Again, I am a huge fan. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. It did last all day. It removed from my brows super easy. I used a little bit of micellar water, a couple of swipes on a cotton pad, and it comes away beautifully. Please hit like if you enjoyed the tutorial. Share it with your friends that you know that love the original Brow Freeze. I hope they enjoy it. Feel free to subscribe if you are new to my channel. Come follow me outside of YouTube over on Instagram at ShowMeMakeup, and I will see you in a couple of days with another video. Bye guys!